Hi, I'm back, and I have a question to ask you. Who is Roy Moore? Do you remember? One of the interesting aspects of his background, and something that made him famous, was his insistence on hanging a copy of the Ten Commandments in his boardroom, in his courtroom, despite the fact that the Alabama State Supreme Court had banned the use of it. Of course, we now discovered that Judge Moore only followed 9 of those 10 commandments, but you might be interested in knowing, if you look at the 10 commandments listed in this week's Torah portion, number 1, no place is it referred to as being the 10 commandments. Number 2, there's no agreement on what the 10 commandments really are. According to the Jewish count, you know how many commandments are found in the 10 commandments? 14. And you know what else? Who knows which copy of the 10 commandments to hang? Because Jews, Catholics, and Protestants count those 10 very differently. The first one that we have, I am the Lord thy God who took you out of the land of Egypt. On the Protestant 10 Commandments, that doesn't exist. They claim it's not a commandment. And their 10 Commandments begins with, thou shalt have no other gods, and then the whole count goes differently. And the Catholics, of course, disagree with the Protestants. There are lots of things about the 10 Commandments that people aren't aware of, such as we used to recite the 10 Commandments every day in our prayers in the temple times. But then when the Christians came along, they said the 10 Commandments are the only commandments that really count. And so to show that we believe all of the commandments are important, we stopped singling out these 10 commandments. In fact, we believe that the 10 commandments are simply 10 principles representing the 613 commandments of the Torah. And they are no more important or less important than any of the other commandments. But they're categories of commandments, such as, thou shalt observe the Sabbath day. That includes all of the commandments that have to do with the sanctity of time, with Rosh Chodesh, the new month, with all of the Jewish holidays. The one where it says you shouldn't murder, you know what our rabbis incorporate in that? You shouldn't embarrass someone because the blood rises to their face and it's causing bloodshed. So remember, the 10 Commandments are special. They're special because they were written by the hand of God. They were spoken by God. But there are 603 other commandments that are just as holy and that are just as important. So after you finish observing the 10, get to work on all the others and have a good Shabbos.